Panelis dari Universiti Malaysia Sabah dengan tajuk Improving the Student Learning Outcomes and Learning Experience on Geographic Information System course with Blended Learning Design. Silakan.
Good afternoon, colleagues and jury. Thank you for your sharing just now. So this is my turn. So I'm going to share with you one of the projects that I've been working on over the past 3 years. So the course that involved is a GIS in conservation biology. It's a Geographic Information System course. And it's a 2 credit hour course, so 80 student learning hours. And every year we have about 60 to 80 students. And the main course, the major course learning outcome is after the course, the students should be able to produce a GIS map with a GIS software and also apply the spatial analysis to solve some problem in conservation biology. So I took over the course since 2015. So before I took over, the course have some problem. So first, the original curriculum is dominated with theory and knowledge, and there are very little time for students to develop their skill, including the technical skill to use the software and also the spatial thinking skill. So they require more time to do the things, but however, because this is just a 2 credit hour course, we cannot, the student cannot spend more time to develop this skill. And the second thing is the student used to have a passive learning method. And actually this is quite bad for the student for their future because this skill these tools, GIS tool involve develop very fast. It's a fast changing field. Even me, I need to learn new skill every few months. So students need to acquire active learning skill, okay, to know how to learn the skill by themselves in the future. So they need to learn how to go to the online forum discussion to ask for help and do the reflection on the things that they are doing. So the approach to solve this problem, we try to transform it into the blended learning model. We try to take advantage of a few characteristics of blended learning. First is flexible, second is efficient, and the third one is engaged. So the first thing is to increase the effective student learning time, okay? And also improve the learning outcome by redesign all the syllabus, activities, and assessment, take advantage of the blended learning, and also improve a bit of the positive learning behavior of the students, okay, by design. So first one, how to increase the effective student learning time. So the best way actually is to just increase the credit hours, but this is not possible at this moment. So I replaced the face-to-face lectures with videos. So altogether, there are more than 90 videos. So 80 of them are original videos. So on average, each student save about 26 hours, which they would have spent in their traveling, also attend the face-to-face class. So I can make use of this time to improve the delivery and also curriculum design. At the same time, use the open source software rather than the commercial software. So in this case, you no longer confine with the limit of the computing facility and also the device. So students now they can use their own device to do learning anytime, anyway. So we managed to squeeze some time by replace the lecture with videos. Until 2014, the lecture is mainly lecture centered. So usually everything happened in the classroom. Lecture, give the lecture, prepare the lecture note, and also give the standardized tutorial. And also students have to complete the tutorial in the computer lab because the software need to be installed in the computer lab. It's a commercial software. They cannot install in their own computer. And the student can ask questions during the class, and also student can do the self-study based on the lecture note. So this is a past. So in 3 years' time, we slowly transform, do a lot of the try and error. So what you see here is a refined model. We transform the course into the student-centered. So the lecture now, my role is like a facilitator and focus on the design, the environment for students to do the active learning in a single management system and also support with the face-to-face session. So I'm going to explain this in detail a while. So the student, so what I'm doing actually is to make a very clear objective, what the student need to know, develop the material, design the activity and assessment so the student can learn by doing. At the same time, find a way to engage them in learning. So this is the most challenging part. So I will explain what I did and how this can a little bit improve the positive learning behavior. So how the student involved? So I will going to go through this slowly. So don't worry if you cannot read this. So this is by purpose. So I will just explain. If you need more evidence, I will show you later. So as a lecturer, we design and develop the content, and also students learn. And as I mentioned before, so most of the lecture are replaced by video online, so they can just watch a video on YouTube, and everything is put in a single management system. So we try many different learning management systems, but at the end of the day, we think the Moodle is the best one. Later, I'm going to explain a bit more why. At the same time, we also have a very clear instruction for every week. Okay, not such detail like a textbook because the students don't like it. So we just make it enough following the Ghanaian 9 events of instruction. So the students should be able to navigate themselves just by logging into the system, and then they know what to do. Okay. So what you see here, actually, I just show you some example. So I have collected the data over the past 3 years. So this is just one of the students. So what you see here is the activity, learning activity of a student whenever they log into the system. So from top to bottom is Monday to Sunday. So it's a 7 day a week. Left to right is different hours. So you can see that students learn at different time. So I have done this analysis for more than 200 students. Not a single profile show the same pattern. So the student can choose the time where they think they can learn from, do the learning. So then after that, I also designed the assessment, redesign a bit. So students will do the assessment, including the formative, mainly formative assessment, and also do the reflection. So the tutorial have been redesigned in such a way it's connect to one and the other. Rather, in the past, it's a task-based tutorial, so that means that this way, when students finish a tutorial, they can just forget about it. Okay? Then they move to the second one. But now, all the tutorial is designed in such a way interconnected. So at the same time, I also apply the delay grading. So I will not mark them immediately. I give them 2 weeks, which they can improve the tutorial. So while they're working on the current tutorial, which is linked to the previous one, they will realize it. Maybe they made some mistake in the previous tutorial. Then they can have an opportunity to correct the tutorial and improve it. So this is a summary. So what you see here, the tutorial 3A, 3B, 4, actually this is an individual tutorial. So you can see up to 1/3 of the students that resubmit without my intervention or feedback. Okay? So they realize by themselves, and they have to also need to write down why they need to resubmit the tutorial, how they find out they make a mistake, and how they improve it. So it's made them to take responsibility to all the work they have done and completed. Then after that, while students do the learning and also relearn, for example, when I do tutorial, they go back to the topic and revisit. I managed to collect a lot of the useful information. So for example, I can have a real-time monitoring on how they involve, how they engage with the learning material. In this case, it's a lecture video. So this is just a YouTube analytic, so I can collect all the data and do analysis. And also, I can use the system, the Moodle in the Moodle system, the learning management system, to track each of the students. Whenever I found that some student is quite far behind, I can personally engage them and then ask anything that I can help them. Okay, anything I can do. So while students doing the tutorial and also watch the video, they can always ask questions. So I provide the support and engage. So most of the things that you see here actually happen outside of the classroom. Okay, the only in the classroom is a very few lecture, 2 lectures, and also several face-to-face discussion sessions. Most of the day is outside of the classroom, online. So I have the asynchronous forum. So it usually is a forum for every week. Students can post the question. Usually I will reply them as soon as possible. Usually it's within a day. At the same time, I also have a synchronous forum. So it's what I call the Ask Me Anything session. So it's happened between 8 to 11 p.m. But I'm not doing it every week, every 2 weeks. So students can be online and then ask any question. The reason I did that because when I analyzed the student learning profile, I realized that most of the learning happened after 8 p.m., between 8 to 11 p.m. So I think it will be good if I make myself available whenever they have the question. Even though they don't ask question, they give them the sense that I was there. Always support them if they want to ask anything. And sometimes, even though they don't ask question, I will just message them, ask how was your learning, any problem in your learning and things like that. Okay. So for the number of the total posts in the forum also increased significantly after I have applied this. So you can see this is a 2018 and 2016. If you compare the number of the view, how the students go inside the forum and view, and also the number of the students who are actively post in the forum also increased 20%. Okay. So what is the impact of this project? Of course, it solved some of my problem, actually most of my problem. And I will keep doing this, and just to I will keep doing this, just do a little bit of fine-tuning. So the positive impact for my class is the student knowledge and skill have been improved. So for example, this is their assignment. So it's much more advanced than their senior. The summary acceptance, so I keep a good record for every question for final exam, so I can assess how my action will have an impact on their improvement of their final exam marks. And also the student learning experience improved. So this is a student evaluation for the course. So this is for the assessment. So you can see this is 2014, this is 2018. So it improved slowly across the year because the change is not happened overnight. Okay. So overall, the student evaluation to the course have increased 10 to 20% in general. So it also improved the active learning. So students now they realize it, they can do their learning by themselves, and also they do their reflection. At the same time, reduce the procrastination. So you can see, this is in before in 2016, so 15, as you can see, a lot of students, they do the last minute study. So this is their activity while they're watching video. However, when I apply the mini project and tutorial, actually they seldom do the last minute study. They engage with their learning all the time. So last is about the secondary education. Actually, originally I just didn't to solve my problem, but when I did a little bit of research for this event, I found out that actually the GIS have been taught in many schools because it's one of the very important skills the student need to know. Everything on Earth, event, human, entity, have a geographic information, have a position, so they need to know how to process the data. However, in the school, they always have a problem, lacking of the resource, lacking of the learning time, and also lacking of the well-trained teacher, and also the good instructional learning material. So all these things in the single management system, I managed to back up and download as a single file, which now is made available for anyone just to install in their own learning management system, and then just can follow the design and the concept of this course. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, as you mentioned, there are so many videos, 80 videos, 502
minutes.
Yeah. So how you manage to make sure students learn all the videos?
So, so from the YouTube analytics, actually I can observe how many views for each video. And also from the learning management system, I can know whether they click on the link. So the YouTube analytics didn't provide me the information about the student, but if I monitor it closely, I can know which student watched a video, which student didn't watch a video. So I can do some intervention, whatever.
How do you assess the learning that they have learned when you have like 80 videos? They must be kind of learning expectation from each video. So how do you assess that they have achieved that learning from that video? Do you assess based on their design at the end, or?
Yeah. So assess based on the formative assessment, the tutorial along the semester, and also at the end of the semester for summative assessment. Because this is the only source of the knowledge and information. So if they can show the improvement in their formative assessment and summative assessment, it's quite logic just to think that they did also, they did engage with the video. And also all the video view, the clip view, actually is more than the total number of students. So I can expect that the student did repeat and also repeat and watch a video. So I assume that most of the students already engaged with the material.
With a lot of information in the YouTube, is that necessary for the students to look at the video?
So all the video is quite short, less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, it's necessary. So if you imagine that 500 minutes, actually it's just 6 hours, 6.5 hours
Yeah.
for the 14 weeks. As compared to they come to the class, just for the lecture, it's 28 hours.
Okay, the percentage or the ratio between the face-to-face and this online, or is it this all 100% online?
There's a face-to-face session. So we have one class at the start of the semester, because this need to be communicated with the student effectively. Need to let them know why we want to do this. If they think it's not good, they can stop me. We go back to the original conventional classroom. But usually, so far, I have no student stop me so far. So I have the one at the beginning, one at the end. At the same time, I will make a tutorial session just to have everyone sit together and then just to see how each other are doing, whether they have the problem.
There is a once in a while face-to-face interaction to see the status of the student.
So by design, it's about 70-30 by design. But this is from my time. But for student, maybe each student is different. Maybe 70-30, maybe some of them is 90-10. Because if they spend more time online, then the ratio will be different.
Is this the only subject that's used this approach, or is there any other?
I did this for another two subjects.
There's another 2 subjects, and it seems to be working well.
So actually, what you are seeing here, all the flow chart, actually this is a summarize of all the experience they have done. So in the past, I tried to do a lot of the activity, use all kind of the tools, but actually students, they appreciate it, they enjoy it, but somehow, when compared to the effort, the time, learning time that they engage with the activity and also the outcome, it seems it's not very effective. And given that this course only I have limited number of student learning hours, so I have to make sure each hour that they spend is really effective. Okay. Not only to change their the learning outcome and also change their behavior. I cannot change their attitude, it's impossible. But I can see that when I do something, they somehow change their behavior. I believe that if all the course is taught in this way, I think the student repeat their behavior, positive behavior, their attitude can change.
That's for the lifelong learning.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I think all the students will be moving this way very soon.
Yes,
We look at it from the industry, these are moving very fast.
Yeah, so actually, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.